You're our go-to guy for the Bruins.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor, Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery, is not here this week because, as you know, he finished third in the Democratic primary last night. Yeah, really didn't get a whole lot of play. Yeah. So, like Bill Belichick would say, he's on to South Carolina. So in his replace, he's back. He's a fan favorite. This is his third time here on the show. Tim Hoey, let's give him a nice round of applause. Thank you, Tim, for being on the show.
And a member of the Grandstand.
That's right, exactly, right.
He's 19 and 20.
Right, yeah, we have sat with Tim for 14, this will be our 14th year sitting in the Grandstanders, thus the name, the Grandstanders. All right, so we're starting our show. So, of course, as you know, it's all about us, right? It's always about us. And so we kind of, after the Patriots lost in the AFC Championship, to kind of reason that it was okay for us to lose, we kind of said, what? Oh, well, Carolina, that's a good team.
Yeah, they'll kill us.
We'd never beat them, right?
I thought it was going to be a blowout.
I
thought they would.
You thought Carolina would blow out Denver?
Might have put a few quid on Carolina.
Right. Yeah.
Jelly beans. A lot of jelly beans.
But needless to say that they spit a bit. That whole game was too big for all of them, and we could have beat Carolina had we gotten to the Super Bowl.
I agree. I mean, Carolina appeared to be frauds.
They were starstruck, it seemed.
Well, they look like if you really study who they had played, their opponents really weren't that strong. They got out to the quick leads. They were a great team at playing with a 21-point lead. And,
front runners.
You know, punch them in the mouth like Mike Tyson, and then you got to see what you really had.
Yeah, I think Tim's right.
Yeah, I don't think they had great wide receivers. I thought they had a better wide receiver course.
Oh, no, they've been horrible all year.
Ted Ginn's dropped 20 passes.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty much Greg Olsen, and that was it, right?
That was it. I thought that Cam Newton would run his way out of his funk. You know, that the way to get out of that when you're overwhelmed is just use your athleticism.
Yeah, but they were giving him some pretty good whacks.
Yeah, but he's like 6'6".
A fighter getting a lot of body punches, you know. All of a sudden, he doesn't have any legs.
But we complained about the game plan, right, of the Patriots offensively, and the offensive linemen couldn't hold anyone for 2 seconds. Carolina didn't have the same problem.
They didn't do any better.
Right. I mean,
these two defensive ends might have had the three greatest games in a row.
I agree.
Of any two defensive ends in history. They basically won 3 games in a row for Denver single-handedly.
Yeah, against 3 quarterbacks. Roethlisberger, Brady. They beat Roethlisberger, Brady, and Newton in consecutively. They
imagine if they were free agents this year.
Oh my God! Well, no, Von Miller, I think he's a free agent,
but they'll tag him.
And Ware is getting a little long in the tooth. I think he's.
He didn't look long in the tooth.
No, we didn't.
You know, the other thing was I thought the Carolina coaches made a whole bunch of stupid decisions too.
Yeah.
Players did a lot of stupid things out there too.
Right, but the coaching, everyone. I think Tim's right. Everyone was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But they had a blueprint. The Patriots gave Carolina the blueprint on how not, to play Denver, and they played the same kind of game.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't give any help for Newton. They didn't run any screen passes. They didn't do anything special.
You know, what did they say to themselves? Newton's different than Brady. He's more mobile. They won't do. Tom Brady is a pocket passer, not very mobile. They won't do to us what they did to the Patriots. And that was my feeling as I was calling that man on Sunday morning.
Well, the one thing that they did try, the one trick play they tried was the worst time trick play. They get the momentum back. It's 2nd and 8 from the 50-yard line, and they run a Ted Ginn wide receiver option.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, to Ted Ginn Jr. Yeah. For a loss.
Yeah, crazy. Drive over. Game over at that point. They really never got a big drive going again.
My opinion is just a great defense.
They were.
And I will say, every time a Patriots receiver caught the ball, I never saw them get hit so hard in my life. I was wondering after every catch and hit if that guy was going to get back up. And that's what the Patriots did to the Rams.
Yeah.
Back for our first Super Bowl. You're going to catch it, but you're going to pay for it. It kind of reminded me of that type of defense, just punishing. Yeah. And as they say, defense wins football.
And is that what kind of created at that end of the game Cam Newton not diving for that fumble? Because he had been hit too much, and he didn't want to get hit anymore. right? Because that was pretty bad.
The white flag was run up the pole.
That was, to me, it was like Scottie Pippen not coming into the game, and for years it's been, you Scottie Pippened it.
Yeah.
Will we be talking Cam Newton it? I mean, meaning you didn't give an effort?
That is a very hard vision to erase from your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 110 million people watching that football game. There's 110 million people watching him step away from the football.
And the announcers,
Right at the end of the game, too, so it's your takeaway
the
from the
announcers
game.
did not go lightly on him.
Sims called it right
the
up.
announcers did not go
And
lightly
Sims
on
doesn't
him.
call anything.
Never
I mean,
calls
literally,
anybody
that woke
out.
him up.
He said,
hasn't called it-
and he stepped back.
Yeah. He hasn't called the quarterback out all year.
I heard that they might have been Deion Sanders on a show said he embarrassed the NFL brand
Yeah.
when he did that. He said, this is our brand that he's representing. And he embarrassed the brand by moving
That's
away.
why I like Dion. He'll call it.
But embarrassing the brand. Who did that more than Aqib Talib? Who, seriously, we talked about this all
But at
year.
least he played the whole game for them. He never played a whole game for us.
Right, but we talked about this all year, Joe. We said you can't get kicked out of an NFL game, and you literally can't get kicked out of the NFL game. What he did to that player, grabbing the guy's face mask and holding on and trying to basically rip the guy's head off, and then after the game, he said he did that deliberately, knowing he'd only get 1 yard penalty.
You know, and we brought that up last week when Kevin Booth was here, and in the response on our panel was, well, there's only 16 games. But here's the thing: they kick guys out of soccer games. You get a red card, you're gone. Doesn't
Baseball
matter.
games.
And could be Ronaldo. You get a red card, he's gone.
Game misconduct
They
in
should
hockey
be
is very
kicking
common.
these guys out of games.
Every other
period.
night
That's
there's a game
crazy.
misconduct.
Well, the argument's going to be, well, it's the Super Bowl, you can't do it. But they
Doesn't
do
matter.
They kick guys out of NBA Finals games, right?
World Cup
they kick
games?
coaches out of games.
Absolutely.
They kick managers out
Rasheed
of.
Wallace.
Right, exactly. They kick managers out of
Kick 'em
World
out.
Series games. So why is it that the NFL won't do it?
He should have been thrown. Keith
those are
Talib should have been
marquee.
out of that game in the first quarter. He had a nervous breakdown. He was a danger on that field to people.
Right. So the referees were terrible, as they have been all year, right? And so this was kind of a microcosm of the whole season. The whole Super Bowl, poorly played on the field, right? And poorly reffed, right? So,
And poorly replayed, too. They couldn't even get the
It was
replays
a
right.
disaster, right?
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they were saying, oh, no, black is white. You know, like that catch. The guy catches the ball. They say, oh, no catch. What do you mean no catch? He caught the ball.
They got to figure that out.
Well, those rules that where you win a challenge and you still lose your challenge?
Yeah.
Well, the bad reffing actually ended up costing Rivera a chance to challenge for the rest of the game.
He was
because
very
they're gonna
upset
keep
about
using
that.
his
He
flags.
was ripping because
It was bad.
he said, your two mistakes have cost me
Yeah.
a challenge.
Because you only earn the third if you get the two right.
Yeah.
The first one never should have been ruled wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So he lost his ability to challenge for the rest of the game in the
Ridiculous.
first quarter.
How can they not change that rule? They literally should have changed the rule right then. This is a Super Bowl. We can't
We
have
were
that
talking
happen.
about it. It was like it was like watching a preseason game.
Yeah.
Like the fourth preseason
Yeah.
game.
And Peyton Manning's not even a good Division II college quarterback right now.
He's old and he's injured.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But it's not really a legacy
It's
game.
like Bird at
We're
the end
all
of his
there.
career.
We're all
But it's not a legacy game because he was terrible.
I know your
You know what I
body
mean? It
just
just
stops responding.
Yeah.
I mean, everything
Well, you
just
think
starts
about our
hurting.
guys, right?
You don't
Orr
heal.
at the end of Orr's
Oh, my
career,
God.
Bird at the end of Bird's career. You know, these
McHale,
guys can't
limping
play.
around on one leg.
They
Yeah.
can't play.
Right.
And you don't heal quick, even with your
No.
wife's HGH.
He didn't lose it for them, and he knew.
That's right.
I'm just not going to lose it for them.
Isn't it funny how he's ending his career the way Brady started his? Remember?
Yeah,
Brady
almost-
just used to hand off and throw the
Almost
short
like
pass.
John Elway didn't win it for them. The running back did.
Yeah,
that.
he
Yeah.
you
You
know
know,
that
he
Elway
just
threw
got out of the
140
way.
yards that game.
Yeah.
His last Super Bowl.
But I was ready to, give Manning his props. But then after the game, the first thing he does is give Papa John a kiss, and then he starts talking about
weird. The
Budweiser.
whole thing
that
was
was
weird.
It was like the circus is in town, right? Let's bring in the elephants. I mean,
And he didn't get any crap for it. If Tom Brady ever
Oh
did
my
that,
gosh.
he would be
Tim's
hung-
totally right.
well, Tom Brady
Well,
was on that.
Brady's not a snake oil salesman like that. Huckster,
Well, America loves Manning.
yeah.
Brookline's
Well, Manning
own-
owns a lot of Budweiser franchises.
Yeah,
That's what
apparently,
it is.
yeah, right. Brookline's own Tom Brady was at the ceremony before the game of the MVPs, and that was pretty cool. I was most amazed that
He got a good big chair there in San Fran.
Yeah, I was most amazed that only one is
Brady?
Yeah.
He got booed.
No, he got booed.
Yeah, he got booed, but he got cheered at first.
Well, no, because
All I read
Ray
about
Lewis
was the
got
Bulls.
cheered.
You know what though? And as upset as I was about that, then I read in the paper today. You know that most of that it was probably
Denver
75% Denver fans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
So, of
Denver
course
could
they're
drive
gonna-
there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a neutral crowd that blew.
Yeah, no, it
booed him.
was 80,
Right.
75%.
Yeah,
Denver.
yeah. So I was upset about that, and then I read
That guy
I
can
read
do
the
no
same
wrong
thing.
in America's eyes. He's slinging pizza, he's slinging insurance, he's...
Yeah. Hey, look,
They
I
love
said
him.
this.
He hits some
He's a class
demographic.
act. He's Jeter. Like he put a career in. He's made all the right decisions. He's handled himself well. Now it's time to leave.
Yeah, and you know he didn't retire on the field because he's going to have some
Oh,
promotion
no,
where
And you
Papa
wonder
John,
if
yeah.
Brady,
Driving him in a
if Brady,
Maserati somewhere.
if
That's
the
right.
Patriots hadn't won so much, it's almost like when people start to win too much, the rest of the country starts to hate them. I hated the Yankees because I was jealous of the Yankees.
We hate the
I hated the
Canadians.
Canadians because
Of course.
they won.
Hated the Cowboys.
So you're indifferent about people who don't win.
That's
You're
right.
like, who cares? You know, Brady. Everyone's jealous of
We're
Brady.
the evil empire.
Well, America, not Brookline, but America got their due this game because it was painful. And had the Patriots been there, you know it would have been an exciting game, right? Because that's what we do.
always are, right.
We play exciting Super
Very
Bowls.
much.
So you got it. Well, I was thinking
Yeah.
the Patriots. I think
Except for one
No,
Super
see,
Bowl in 1986 was not very exciting.
No, but it was exciting. No, but it was exciting because the Bears got to
Sure,
give
yeah.
the
Every
refrigerator
other
a
game's been
ball
good
and all
game.
that stuff.
Every other game's been a good game.
Yeah, it's
a great game.
See, you guys need us in the
Yeah, they
game,
do.
and you're going to get us next year. We hope, right?
We do.
Why not?
We're the favorites.
Are we the favorites going in?
Yeah.
I would figure we will. We
Yeah.
get Lewis back.
We I think it's Seattle and
How long is he going to last again? He's a little guy.
I would
and they
hold
send
him
in
out to the last third of the year.
Yeah, right. So we're growing too.
Yeah, put him on the pup list.
Yeah, right. Put half that team on the pup
Couple of
list.
offensive linemen.
Matt Forte is a free agent. Perfect.
Yeah,
You don't pick until 59. And part of the deal with losing that first round draft pick, we can't even trade up into the
There's
first
no reason to
round.
watch the
Well,
draft.
Belichick's always been great at free agent, picking up the
Yeah,
right
it's all
guys.
about free
Yeah.
agency, and they got cap room. We're good. We're gonna be fine.
Oh, they got tons of cap room.
I
Right?
love this team. I would say the first 5 or 6 games, this is the best Patriots team I ever saw.
Yeah, I would agree with that. When
They
Lewis
were
was on the field,
When Lewis was on the field and they were all healthy,
it was amazing.
it was fun to watch.
But defensively, all we really have to do is improve our depth in cornerback, and then I think we're good to go.
Linebacker.
I would like to see
little bit of the linebacker
1 or 2
depth.
more offensive linemen.
It's
No,
all
I'm saying as
about
far as defensively, but
Defensively,
offensively, yeah, obviously
Yeah.
we have some glaring needs in offensive line, running back. We need a
Running backs are a dime a dozen.
You can
We'll
get
go
them
out
on
and
the-
get 2 or 3 new guys, and Lewis will be the feature guy.
But we need a wide receiver that can stretch the field. Apparently, Ted Ginn goes to a new team every year. I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
Ted
but
Ginn would have
he
looked good.
drops
in
the ball
big-
too much. He just drops the
I know,
ball
but we
too
just
much.
need a guy who runs fast.
Run straight and fast.
Yeah, right. You know.
And can catch the deep ball. None of our guys can catch
Is
the
there
deep
anybody
ball.
available? You said
Oh, there's
Ginn?
like 1,000
Anyone
of
else?
them.
Yeah, they can always find guys like that.
4-4-4.
Well, the
No
Olympics
one's
is
ever
happening
worked out for the
right
Patriots.
in the
so
summer,
something
right?
Randy Moss.
That's right.
Same Bolt. Maybe
Yeah.
he could just.
LaFell just
Ronaldo
disappeared.
Nehemiah.
Oh, LaFell, no. LaFell's never playing in the
Yeah,
NFL.
he's done.
Was he even on the field?
He was hard.
Embarrassing. Well, he's
For
been
the
embarrassing
AFC
all
For the
year.
AFC Championship, was he even on the field?
He was
Yeah.
there.
They didn't
Yeah,
throw,
no,
they
in
throw to
fact,
him once
Martin.
even?
Martin ended
Keyshawn
up
Martin
was ahead
played
of him in
more
the
than
depth
him.
chart. He was the 4th receiver. LaFell was. He was just off the radar.
Well, yeah. It was just a
Hey,
bad year.
Why do we pick him then? Why don't you know?
Well,
He was
you
a
might
free
be on the
agent.
coaches, but you got to know who you're picking. You know what I
Well,
mean?
he played well last year, Timmy.
He just scored a
He
touchdown in the
catches it and
Super
falls
Bowl.
to the ground.
Yeah, no, yeah. We've had a few of those guys. Remember that guy, Lloyd?
Dion Branch.
Yeah, Brand,
Fred
yeah.
Lloyd.
They used to tell Branch, as
Yeah,
soon as you
just get
catch it,
down.
just go down.
And Chad Johnson, the 9 reception T guy, he would literally just fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the Patriots, Dante is back. Dante Scarnecchia is who's been the offensive. He was the offensive line coach for what, about 100
If
years.
he's here this year, do we win the Super Bowl?
He's,
Probably.
but he was
I
a
agree
consultant.
with
What? I mean,
But
Yeah,
he was, no, but remember, he was not consulting about on the field. He was consulting like background, pro level consulting, signing guys, but not on the field.
Because he was more than just an offensive line coach. He was also the assistant head coach for
Right.
10 years.
but this is what I don't understand. If they had problems with Googs, the offensive line coach, and they clearly did, they fired him right after the season. In the Super Bowl, maybe they could have Dante come in as a consultant and
Yeah,
just,
but it wasn't the Super Bowl. Remember, it was week to week, and if you had 2 weeks, maybe you could do it. But I don't know. It's tough to run a new guy. We're all of a sudden
Yeah,
change
and
the
last
system.
year, remember, the offensive line started out, not this last season, but the Super Bowl
That's
winning
right.
season. They started out horribly.
bunch
the
of no
offensive
names,
line,
as I
and they
recall.
and they improved as the
I mean, they
season
won a
went on.
Super Bowl last
And
year.
they won a
with
Super
Googs
Bowl.
as
I
the-
know.
Right,
That's
so
the
he's got a
problem.
long
Yeah,
leash.
And with the
he's
same
unleashed.
personnel practically.
He's got a long leash. so-
Ware and Miller just seem to hit some new level.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
if you if you weren't very strong there,
Yeah.
these two guys, oh my God. I mean,
I
I'll
don't
just
think it
keep
was a
going back to
scheme
Miller
thing.
and
I
Bonner.
agree with Tim.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a scheme thing. You just did not have athletic enough tackles in to deal with that kind
They
of
were
speed.
2 steps past him
Yeah.
before
Speed kills.
as he was coming out of his stance.
Yeah.
He was just in.
And
wasn't-
Ballmer wasn't even getting out of his stance.
I'd say-
Cannon Mosley.
Yeah.
So the anger and bitterness, I should let that go?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
over.
Okay. 'cause
Yeah.
Deep breath,
Turn the
deep breath,
page.
Scott, deep breath.
Yeah, because
On to 2016.
well, if the weather improves, then I'm all right. But if if it snows the next few
No,
weeks,
we want bad weather.
yeah, no.
Wait a minute. Today was truck day. The truck
Oh
left.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's talk Red Sox. Right, sure. Because I have a watch to keep time, and I also have a Hanley watch. The time that continues on until Hanley Ramirez is traded, cut, something or another for the Red Sox. And you're right, spring training is coming. So you boys are going to tell me that Hanley Ramirez is going to be in a Red Sox uniform in Fort
I'm
Myers?
here to tell you that he's going to start the year
Unfortunately,
playing
yes,
first
yeah.
base. for the
He'll
Red
be
Sox.
here.
I am shocked. I'm going to still no. I'm still saying it. I'm still predicting it that he is not going to be on this
I
team. in
look
spring.
forward to an entire season of sitting behind Scotty
No,
Yeah.
and listening
no.
to him bash Hanley. Who was it last year? Who did you hate?
Daniel Nava. Daniel Nava has been the scoring.
The bet noir for a long time.
Yeah,
now.
there's been so many.
So
but,
many.
Yeah, Daniel Nava. No, I despise Hanley Ramirez. I despise everything that he believes in.
But he's turning over a new leaf, Scott.
Why?
Yeah.
Tell me.
I don't
He's lost
believe
20
it. I don't
pounds.
believe it.
He's got to be in the best shape of his life.
I have three
He's
Wiseman.
taking ground balls as we speak.
All the beat writers say that. you know?
Ryan Butterfield's going to spend a lot of time with him.
But what
Got
do you
it.
guys? Well, you explain to me. I can't understand this. Why?
They're just desperate to get him into that DH role.
And no one's going to take that salary. Who's going to take? We give him away, and we're going to pay his salary. Maybe let's just maybe a miracle's going to happen, and he's going to figure it out. But if we send
Go
him, we're
get
going to be
Magic
paying.
Johnson
We're going to
drunk
be
again.
paying 80% of his salary, no matter where he goes.
I think the combination of what Tim said and the fact that they're sitting there saying when David Ortiz leaves, who's going to be our DH? They're saying let's give Hanley a shot. Let's give him a shot.
I'm shocked.
Give him 25 games.
I think that this season could go south real quickly, and then it's just going to be all about Hanley and Pablo and all the crap, and then David Price gets traded, as I predicted.
David
And
Price
then-
has already reported, if you will read today's
Yeah,
paper.
no, I'm excited about the season, but I'm telling you,
Are we trading Price already?
By the end
by,
of June.
by,
By
by
the
his prediction.
trade
He put his
deadline.
hat on
Trading
last
deadline.
season.
No, I
About
think-
4 weeks ago he put his hat on and said
Yeah.
David
Is
Price.
his cup half full around?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He put his hat on
How
and he
sweet
predicted
it is.
Oh, when it happens, and then when Jason Veritek walks through that door,
And
oh
Belichick
man,
doesn't come back.
and Belichick doesn't come back.
And Brady gets reported with a broken foot.
Yeah, he broke his foot.
Yeah, all of that happened in the parallel universe in which you live.
So Scott,
Has the hat been retired? I don't see it.
Scotty, you're pretty good at this. Where do you put the Sox this year?
Look, I think the Red Sox could finish first or finish last. I seriously,
What are the probabilities that we finish last 4 out of 5 seasons?
Not high.
no, I think it's just as high as we
I
finish
think we're
first.
in wild card contention at a
Second
minimum.
place,
Yeah, wild card contention at a minimum, maybe win the division.
It's-
Toronto.
Look, in our 2013 season, we need to come out with a good start. This is what
I
has
agree with
happened
that.
with the Red Sox.
I agree with that.
And they have a favorable schedule this year, again, just like 13, with a lot of home games in April.
I think that's right. We need a good start. If
Yeah.
if we're 10 and 15, 10 and 20, this
Yeah.
is going to get bad.
Right,
Yeah.
It's going to get bad.
right, because the Boston fans will have no patience for Hanley. They'll have no patience for Pablo.
Well, I think we're losing
right.
pace on finishing last. They had that World Series miracle reprieve.
Yeah.
Take that out of it. How many
It's a
last place
disaster.
finishes in a
3.
row? 3. 3 last place. When is the last time that happened to the Red Sox?
The 60s, probably.
It's embarrassing.
No, they didn't even finish last.
Yeah, they
Kansas
went to
City
last back
Athletics
then.
used to be in
Oh,
10th.
is that
They
right?
used to be 9th place all the
With the
time. in
payroll
60s.
they have, the fan base they have, who's ever calling the shots?
Although,
it's Ben Cherington.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let's give Dombrowski a chance, though.
No, I.
Right.
Oh, I love what he's done so far.
They've cleaned house. They've got a new GM. We'll see what happens to Farrell. They brought in some guys. Look, we can argue about David Price, but they brought in an ace pitcher. They brought in one of the top 3 closers in the game.
No, they've tried, right.
So they're trying to do the right things. Now we see if the moves work.
And I think, Charrington, I don't know how he managed, the World Series bought him, I mean.
Yeah.
Those horrendous 2 last place seasons, with the resources the Red Sox have, that
they
is
should
a
never
crime.
finish last.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed for myself and all of us. We got so soft that we allowed Ben Cherington to explain to us that Pablo Sandoval, it's all right that he's fat.
Right.
It's okay.
He performs well in the playoffs.
Yeah, so
There's only one logical problem with that.
Performs well in the men's room,
Right.
too.
Right. I mean, that was a joke, and we let that slide. And we need to the fans need to get off their seats. They need to throw those pink hats away and actually have to hold the Red Sox accountable this season. Because it's a ridiculous joke that this team, with that amount of payroll, and you're right, with the fan base, can finish in last place that many seasons.
Should never happen.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that should never happen.
we got to talk to the Celtics because we haven't talked to the Celtics the
I've
whole
been dying
season.
to talk
yeah,
about
all right,
the
we
Celtics.
have.
Been
So
dying.
currently they're almost third seed.
Third place in the East.
Yeah.
Third place in the East.
Yeah.
So boys, and the Cavaliers, we're not afraid of them, right? We obviously we beat them.
They're pretty good.
But we're not afraid of them.
Not afraid
Obviously,
of
that
them.
Friday game, even if
Right.
we had lost that game,
They swept us last year, remember?
right? But I
Last
don't.
year.
Right. But I think things have come
Yeah.
closer. We're a better team
Right.
than we were last year.
Yes.
We're 1 year more experience.
Yeah, the logical progression is we'll win at least one playoff series this year. We're not going to be playing the Cavaliers in the first round. We
Right.
should win. I will be disappointed if we do not win a playoff
Would you
series
consider a
this year.
success if we win one series and get knocked out this next?
Yeah, it depends how we play. But by and large, yeah, if we get knocked out in the
And you're
second one, we give
competitive
it a
in the
good
second
one. You're
series.
playing the Cavs or something like that.
But that's how the NBA progresses. That's how
That's
you
right.
kind of graduate to that
The
level.
old
and
Sixers team had
You
to
go
get
up the
past the
steps.
Celtics.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
But
Tim's right.
we have a chance if Trader Danny, and he really hasn't been Trader Danny this year. He's pretty much done nothing. If he can get a big guy, at the very least, then this is a team that
agree.
could get into the Eastern Conference
I
Finals.
agree.
Yeah, they're dangling Hereford.
we would,
Oh,
yeah,
my
Horford
God.
would be
Yeah,
nice.
but he's only
What do
a
you give for
rental.
him? He's a 1-year rental.
Yeah, I mean, but
2
if
months?
if you can
2 months?
if you
Is
can
that
get
it?
Yeah, just the
let's
end
put
of
it
the
this way,
season.
if you can get Horford
Now we're talking about Horford of the Atlanta Hawks.
Al Horford from the Hawks. If you can get him because he's a rental for without giving up a Nets pick,
Yeah.
you do get his bird right. So you do have the best chance of re-signing him
Yeah.
at that point in time. And you say
And they have plenty of money.
they got plenty of money and
Oh,
they got
yeah,
plenty
way
of
under the
draft
cap.
picks.
Who else has the kind of money they could just throw?
Nobody.
The Celtics got a ton of money.
But it seems like every star player has an opt-out clause, within a year or two.
Sure.
So, we're facing that with pretty much any guy we acquire.
If you're Hereford, though, and you look at the Celtics are on the rise.
Yep.
Right.
They're on the rise. They got a great coach. They got a ton of draft
That's
picks.
right.
They got a lot of young players. They got the money to give a max contract.
He's the kind of guy that
could
would
be a
resign with the
fit.
Celtics.
But Atlanta was that team last year.
Yeah, but now they're talking about selling off everything.
Yeah.
So
But great point to me. I think it's the coach. I think it's Brad Stevens that could make these guys stay. They're really sold. These
Not
players
our
are re-
weather? Not
No,
our-
no, it's not. Right. Not our cheerleaders.
We do have
trust me.
beaches, though.
If we could just
Yeah, the
improve
Celtics
cheerleaders.
dances.
Yeah, no, they just never. From a distance, great, but
No close-ups, please.
yeah, no, definitely not. But it's really Brad Stevens that has to bring in these
he's the
guys.
star. He's the
Yeah.
superstar in our team.
When you have guys like LeBron James, the
Yeah.
king, saying
And
all
you
these
might-
positive
and
things.
You might have a couple of different guys. A couple of guys the guys who love basketball. They're looking for maybe what the Celtics. If you're looking for a guy who's just looking for a warm climate and near the beach
And a max
Go to
contract.
Phoenix.
and a max
Right.
contract, that's not
Down
the
in
guy.
Miami,
For a guy
exactly.
who maybe loves the sport and says,
Or remember what Garnett, get a guy like Horford who's been in the league for a while who wants a championship. That's ultimately why Garnett resigned.
Yeah.
He was dying for a championship.
But I'm not buying that crap because the Lakers suck and they've sucked for a while now. And what's
And
nicer weather?
everyone's dying to get to the Lakers.
Yeah, well, they're clearly not dying to go to the Lakers
anymore.
because they've been terrible
They
for
couldn't
years.
get LaMarcus Aldridge last year. They failed miserably doing that. Yeah.
Well, Kobe's contract has kind of precluded them from offering people
True.
the money that they.
But yeah,
deserve.
I say I'd love to see them make a run. And if you can get an A+ player, you give up one of the Nets picks. If it's a
Right.
Horford or
where's Hereford in the top 20? Where would you put him?
Oh, I would put him in top
probably
20.
to
top
20.
20, 25. Yeah.
But I think in this system, in Brad Stevens' system, that he really flourishes, okay? Because he's perfect for
I
them.
tell you, the kid who played last night, Monroe, offensively, oof,
Yeah, well, yeah.
he's a
Because they
beast
got the
offensively.
Celtics got plenty of guards. They're so guard heavy, it's ridiculous.
So we keep on talking now. We've had these arguments about Dwight Howard. I know.
No.
I know he's a dog. Okay, all right. I know he plays at times and he doesn't
So
play.
did you see that Red Sox rumor the other?
All right, I would take Dwight Howard for the right price. I think.
Why?
No, because I think that you can get the most out of him, and Brad
I
Stevens
wouldn't
get
give
the
a
most.
bag of basketball.
No, in a short period
Try
of
to
time.
resign him?
No. Actually, you're going to be stuck
this?
with $22 million next year. So you.
No, I think his contract is up. Or is it for one
No, I
more
think
year?
he has a.
He has an option?
Yeah, he has an option, and he's
Brad
going to pick that
Stevens
up.
can't get the maximum out of Avery Bradley, and you think he's going to get it out of Howard?
Why Avery Bradley's played well?
That was a pretty dumb move last night.
I
But he
know,
won
but-
the game against.
No, hey.
Yeah, but he lost the game last
What
night.
do you see that's attractive about this?
Oh, look, he's
Not
a
a
big
big
guy.
fan.
He's
Yeah.
He's huge.
He
That's what
protects.
it is.
He's a rim protector, which we need so badly.
And he never.
But he
wins.
doesn't get back on defense.
He's not a winner.
It's going through the motion.
But I'm just saying there may be our only chance to get someone like that. Maybe Dwight
But
Howard.
this isn't the year where it's like we need that one piece to win a championship.
makes a
We
good
are
Tim's
not
right.
at that position. Let's keep building. Let's not give up the farm. We got to stay with the plan.
No, I don't want to give up the farm. But if we can look, we have like 1 million first-round
But
picks.
what's the long term? What's the 3-year plan for picking?
with his,
taking?
if you do get Horford, then maybe if you sign Horford to
What's
a
he,
max
30
contract,
years old, 30
maybe
years
he
old?
will attract a quality first agent, a free agent
Yeah.
to come in too.
See,
I see
to complete
Horford,
it.
but I don't see.
No, but Howard, look, the exposure you get by going further in the playoffs helps you recruit players also.
People want to come to a team just because Dwight Howard's there.
Well,
don't
I
that.
see. I think the more interesting and controversial one is Boogie Cousins, who is
Yeah.
a polarizing figure, but he has got talent, but he woofs it on the
Oh,
court.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Woofs it, but boy, I mean that he's a 24-year-old, to Tim's point, 24, 25-year-old version. Then all of a sudden you sit there and say, this guy could be with you for 5 years. You may win a couple championships.
the right coach.
Yeah.
But
I
he's-
think we all agree Howard's going down like this.
Yeah,
He's
well,
not getting
absolutely.
any better.
Right. But his cousin's the kind of guy you want to bank the future
kinda
on.
rough.
And-
No,
I mean, yeah.
not
big
what
risk.
I've seen of him this year.
Big risk.
Because he could be a guy that gets Stevens out the door.
Now the guy you push everything across the table for is Blake Griffin, if you ask me.
Oh,
that's the guy you push
absolutely.
everything across the
He'd
table.
fill the seats.
Because that's what we need.
He's
We
a
need
seat
star.
seller.
Right. Exactly. We need
How
star
many
power.
season tickets would go
Gone.
that day?
He'd be a huge star in this town.
Because we need star power, and our star right now is 5'7", and that's just not going to work out.
I hope that Danny and Doc are getting together for dinner at the Capitol Grill after the game, and Danny pushes Nets picks
Is he
across
a
the
free
table.
agent?
No, he's
No.
got like 3 years
No.
left. But
Yes,
Why would he?
well, because the Clippers have gone 18-4 without him.
And,
He's been out for a month, and the
with
Clippers
the
are-
hand.
And he can only punch so many
there's only
Clippers
one more
employees
guy
before
left.
they have to let him go.
But no, there's a little bit of rumor like they're looking at Blake Griffin and saying, if we had a Jay Crowder and Avery Bradley and a multiple picks, he may be more valuable than Blake. They're 18-4 without him.
He's marketable.
All right, so we love rumors because rumors is so much fun. All right, who would you have to give up? Obviously, you have to give up the Nets pick coming up.
Yeah.
The
And you have to give up
2016.
David Lee for the
Right
contract.
now,
Yeah,
if,
right.
if it was to happen today, where would we stand? I mean, we're in the lottery, right, with Brooklyn?
Which, we're third right now. We'd be
You
as
got
far
to
as
figure
the-
it's a second or third pick.
yeah, second or
pretty
third
much.
pick, which is you're going to get a top guy.
What's on the horizon?
Look, there's Ben Simmons, and apparently
then
there's everyone
everybody
else.
else, right.
Okay, so we'd have a 15% chance, as we currently stand, for to
To get that
pick. Yeah.
So I don't know. I would for an A+ star like Griffin, I'd give up a Nets pick. I'd give up Crowder, Bradley, maybe another pick or two.
Would you give up the chance to get Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah.
for Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a bird in the hand is worth.
The chance that Ben Simmons is ever as good as Blake Griffin is that big.
Yeah, and because similar to the presidential primaries where they think 15% means that there's a referendum that they
Right,
like you.
that's true.
No, that is, Ted Cruz, 85% of the people not voting for you. And so in the same
Yeah.
light, we have an 85% chance that we will not get
that
Ben
pick,
Simmons.
that's true.
So I'm not a mathematician.
We usually don't get that bounce.
Yeah, so I think that
that's
we're
not
probably not going to get that pick.
Yeah, I agree
okay?
with that.
So, yes, I would give up for the right guy that
For
pick.
Blake Griffin.
And now understand we also have the Nets 2017 pick, and we have the Nets
How are they
2018
feeling? How are
projection. Oh my God!
Danny is one of the greatest. trades
Oh
of all
my
time.
God.
Yeah, I don't
They
remember-
must feel hope. The fans must feel hopeless there. They know
They can't even
They
tank.
can't improve.
For you old timers out there, if you remember Ted Septian, remember that of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cleveland Cavaliers? He was the owner.
Yeah.
That he would trade all his future number
The
ones.
league stepped in and told him he couldn't deal any more picks.
Yeah, they actually they
They
stopped.
did. They said you cannot do this anymore.
Right, and then they kicked him out of the league, basically.
him out of the
Yeah, they gave them. I think they gave them some picks back. You know, so I mean, there's a reason
Wrap
Billy
it up.
King,
Yeah.
he's on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's our show.
That went
Oh, that
fast.
was-
Yeah, well, always goes fast. I'm glad we got the Celtics in. We'll talk more
plenty
about
more to
those.
talk about.
Yeah, in the weeks
No
coming up.
Bruins, though.
Well, it's so
Bruins
boring,
are on
Tim.
tap,
I
yeah.
would love to talk. I will talk Bruins next week. But that's our show. I want to thank the boys. I want to thank everyone behind the scenes, of course, especially Adrian. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great night. Yeah, the Bruins. I know.
No, it's okay. There was not much.